Just find the right place in the program, make the appropriate change, and we'll run the whole thing again.
Speech is still very complicated. Music is simpler.
Is that a question?
Yes.
The question is futile.
My interpretation of the data leaves little room for error. The art of leadership is delegation.
That information is not available. This constitutes all available data.
You know what they say, no good deed goes unpunished.
Audio, welcome back. So carrying on from this morning, let's just get on with it, shall we? Okay, let's open it up. Let's do a bit more on it. Do a bit more on the old program. If you're new to this, it's just a software front end for a radio and its transceiver, commercial transceiver that you can connect up to your computer. Instead of controlling it from the transceiver, you control it from your software. Alright, let's just make sure we got some audio transceiver that you can connect up to. And we haven't got audio. Right, okay, I'm going to reset the audio. Okay, I don't know if that's made any difference. Let's have a look. Hello, testing 1 2. Audio was crap. What is going on? All I did was switch my computer on again. Let's wait to see. Okay, I don't know if that's made any difference. Let's have a look. Yeah, it did. Hello, testing 1 2. Yeah, so it just goes to show you have to test your audio. All I did was switch the computer on. All I've done is selected another device, then switch it back again. Let's give it a kick up the arse. Don't trust it now. Let's have a look. Hello, testing 1 2. Well, the good news is that's what it did on me with my Focusrite audio interface, and I thought it was faulty. So it's obviously a driver issue because I'm using a different audio interface. It's done the same again. So you've got to check every time you do it. Anyway, so it's become necessary to have a function menu class. So we need to handle the function. This function has got different functions depending on what transceiver mode you're in. So we've got to get that working somehow. So I don't know what we've got here. Yeah, we tried it on the last stream, the end of the last stream, and it just crashed out for some reason. So let's try it again, see if we can get it to crash out. So if it's greater than, the level is plus plus and the level is minus. So I'm going to move this down here so I can see. Bring it across a bit there like that. I'm going to scroll this. Scrolling up is no problem. I'm going to go scroll down. There's no problem. What is going on then? Right, so I'm going to click it. Then I'm going to scroll around. There's no problem. I know what it is. I'm not in the mode. I need to get to the filters. This is where actually, yeah, that is transceiver noise filters. Yeah, that's the mode, and I'm currently on level. So now it's going to crash. I'm going to scroll forward. There we go. So it's saying the index was out of range, must be non-negative or less than the size of the collection. Right, and I can't see what the problem is, so I'm going to have to do a bit of a debug. So what we'll do is we'll introduce some boilerplate code for debug, if I can find a bit that I did earlier. Here it is. Right, let's scroll back up. Okay, so I'm going to do just in here and change the debug mode to current and change it to level equals, and then we shall print the level plus level. That's it. Okay, so now we'll be able to see just before it errors, when it hands control over to this, what the actual problem is. It's probably because we've got more menu selected items than we've got in our list. That's what it's going to be. So it's going to be fine up until the point we get past the 4 that we put in for default. Right, so let's have a look. Here's the span. So if I go click once, exception thrown, must be non-negative or less. Right, so I didn't see a value being put in, so it didn't actually get to that position there. Never got to here. So it must be, let's just go up here. So level equals the current value. So don't quite know what's going on there. Let's put that back a minute. Let's put a couple of breaks in it, and I don't think it's going to get to there. Let's try that. So we'll put broke on that at the minute, so continue, and it's immediately gone to error. So it's something to do with that. Let's see if we can get to this point. I doubt. If we could have got to that point, we would have got to this point. So it's definitely not liking this. So function class. Right, so I need to print out the delta really. Yeah, so that's trying to say. I don't quite know where it's going wrong. Let's have a look. Imply the input delta. Trying to track it is a bit awkward. So we're on the mouse wheel and we're using the delta. So if the delta is greater, then we're changing the function. Go right. We're not doing that. We're in transceiver mode, noise filter. We were in. Switch the function menu selected item, and we're definitely getting to this level because we're in level. So it's not liking this bit here. So probably we need to print out selected item. Yeah, we've got more selected items than we've got probably. That will be what it is. So we start off with, hang on. So the selected item. Tell you what, let's print Let's print this bit. This is the bit that's given us the grief, not the level. Okay, so I'll temporarily take that out of there and take the stop off, and we should be able to, oh, hang on then, so we won't take that out. We'll just put this above it. Okay, let's just see. It can't, we've only created so many of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 0 to 3. So if the index is greater than 3, we haven't created enough. But level is there. Right, here we go. Right, so what's it say? There it is, 0. So it's 0 and it's an unhandled exception. So it did it FA. FA came in, so oh, we asked for a FA, we set FA and we did a read. But that shouldn't have errored so far. So there's something wrong with this. Int level, so level is current value. So we're reading the value. So what's wrong with reading the value of 0? Something not quite right. Ah, I know what it is. Can you tell what it is yet? I can. We've never ever set the list up. That's the problem. So we need to set the list up from this class. We forgot to create the list. That's why. That's why there was nothing in the list. Makes perfect sense. Okay, once ways. Welcome, once ways. How you doing? You okay? Can you explain more about potential verification checks at download on registered hams? Yes. Somebody asked the question. Is it going to be? Would it work on a wide-banded radio, a wide-banded FT891? And the short answer, yes, it does work out the box, but it's in development at the minute. Now, should it work for responsible hams who are licensed, who've done the training? Oh, that was you. Okay. Good, thanks. Okay, yeah, sorry, there's a lot of questions been coming in. We have got I created a user group now for, I meant to put it in the list, I haven't put it in. Let me just get a copy of that in the user group. I meant to put a link in the description, but I forgot to do it. So I'm just going to find this link, this user group. Oh, there it is. No, wrong one. Hang on. There it is. So I've created this user group. How do I share that? Can I share that there? Yeah, maybe. So I'll paste it in here, and I'll paste the name of it. Right, so there's the group. Hopefully it'll take you to it. But yeah, so are you licensed? Are you thinking of getting a license? Are you on a training course? This is the problem. See, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. You see, if I don't have any constraints on it, I wasn't planning to, but I don't want to fall out with anyone, least of all licensed AMs. So, but potentially, yeah. I mean, I'm not a fan in general of digital restrictions or digital rights management. Clock cycle 32. That's if you didn't recognise that's another one of my branding things. So I'm just watching it on a different browser at the minute. So that was me who put that in there. Yeah. So yeah, it's a funny question because some amateurs, they genuinely have a listen round the frequencies, like Paul does. I know he has a listens right around what was his call sign now? Oscar Mike 0 Echo Tango. He has a listen, and then there's Salty Walt. He has a listen. So now, obviously, it's a 100 watt radio, and you're limited to your watts. So it could be built in that if you're out of band, it lowers the wattage to whatever the max is on that band. Well, that all depend on the location around the world. I don't think it's set in stone. It's not standard for the world. Everywhere's got its own standard. Some have got different frequencies that are out of band, and so on and so forth. So I had no plans in doing extra work to prevent it from doing so. Where do I find it? I've not tried it. Let me just see if it'll. Hang on. Will it let me click on that? No. So you've got to select it. You select. Yeah, it's not a very good link, unfortunately. I'm going to go to copy the link, put it into a browser tab, and then paste it. See if it takes me to. It's not been tested. I only set it up yesterday. See, it's having a struggle. Oh yeah, it's took. Yeah. Share. Hang on. Let's copy the link. Right, I've just copied the link. Let me try it again. Yeah. Here is the link to the FB group for the project. Right, I think it's the same thing again. Yeah, so it might have done it. It might have made it a bit better. I don't know. Yeah, it's come up with a slightly different number. Oh, it's truncated it. Yeah. Yeah, I'll try it again. Can I click on it? Yeah, try that one. Don't know if I can take that one out. Will it let me delete it? No, can't. Can't seem to. Yeah, can't do anything with that. Anyway, yeah, that's it. The name Stuart. Really interested watching you code. Hi Stuart, welcome to the stream. Yeah. It's. I've had better times. My memory isn't what it was. So from day to day, But it's a constant learning process, really. You can do quite a lot without the ins and outs of the C code. Some of the stuff they do that's, you look at it and think, what are they doing? You can make it a bit more basic. You know what I mean? You might, instead of trying to do everything in line, you could split it across a few lines and do the same thing, and when it gets compiled, it'll probably take up the same amount of space. Maybe. Don't know how good the compiler is, but anyway. But the computers are that fast now. I mean, if you had if you did something in a single line, and then somebody did it in 10 lines, you'd never notice the difference, more than likely. Yeah, never notice the difference. So it's just it just makes you look you're not as good as someone else. Well, I don't know, some kind of hierarchy. If you can do a single liner which people can't read easily, it seems to get you further than something well commented. But maybe that's just me. In the past that was what it's like. Now it's probably different. If you comment your code, lovely. In fact, we'll have to do that. We'll have to comment it all out and put each part through AI and say, can you just comment this out and make it, see if there's any weirdness in it. It's going to find it. I've pasted some AI code back into itself after it told me it was all nothing wrong with it, and it found some other stuff. So, and that was its own code. Yeah, it's funny. It's criticising its own code, so yeah, it's funny. Yeah, like I say, I don't know if there's any backlash from just releasing it. What I wanted to do, actually, I wanted to, on this main screen, I wanted to use the band plan, the RSGB band plan, because that's the one that I'm working on in the UK. But here, I wanted it to display a channel. You know, some frequencies have got like a name, like, I don't know, like they do on 270 centimeters. Like if I go onto some of these program repeaters, they've got names. So, like the GB7SJ and GB3TF, GB3CR, and then you could actually, let's cut to the chase. Let's cut to the chase. So basically, if you wanted to, theoretically, hypothetically, you could have this display channel numbers.
Level Brett Trey, good afternoon, Blue Max Senator, Roman 25170 inbound. Can you get information whiskey 737-800?
Well, if you can understand them, you're a great pilot or clock tower, airport tower. Sounds like it's asleep. Oh, yeah. It's probably had too much vodka flying that plane. Never mind. Yeah, so if I want to be able to put, so you get the band plan. I've got the RSGB band plan here. Right, say for 7 megahertz, say. There's the band plan. You can't see it. So we've got the band plans in different plans. I haven't got them all printed out, but so here it describes the band plan. Say it says so 7050 to 7053, necessary bandwidth 2.7 kilohertz, and it UK usage all modes, automatically controlled data stations, unattended, and then you've got further on down, all modes SSB, contest preferred segment. So your radio, it needs to know this information. If I want a button that says, if I want to click on a button that says find me a clear channel on the current band, it needs to know where to go and look, really. I mean, it needs to know whether you're trying to send CW, talk with FM or sideband, or whether you're trying to do a digital thing. It needs to know. And if you're trying to, oh yeah, you can see, can you? Yeah, we got a lot of them. A bit of a hoarder when it comes to old computers, unfortunately. Yeah, I've made a case going way back on this live stream. We've got a series on that case down the back there. This Amiga 2000 here. I redesigned it. Well, I had a spare motherboard, so I built a polycarbonate case for it. So in there, in with a button, on-off buttons, and I built it by measuring everything inside the real one. So you can put, you know. Anyway, that's a project. There's projects on projects on projects. Projects. There's all sorts of projects. There's one. Antenna rotator. This is a crazy place. This is. So antenna rotator on a bracket.
Traffic 080 degrees, then altitude 2,500
So you spin it round, and it's on a stepper motor driven belt with a magnet sensor here with a magnet for detecting the direction. So that's another one. Loads of them, and it's a bit of a mess in here. Oh, I was watching a film, and some guy was saying something about the room, saying, "Oh, it looks like someone's broke in and smashed your room up." And he goes, "No, that's what it looks like normally." He said, "That's what it's like normally," and he said something about a tidy room is a bored mind or something, or a mind that's got no creativity. I forget what it was now. Out of a MacGyver series. So I thought, yeah, probably true. Basically, if you've got time to tidy it up and sit there, then you got nothing happening up top. Yeah, that's funny. Oh yeah, you'll go back and watch that video. It's 65 episodes of about 3 hours each, so good luck on that one. Yeah, because I got pulled between. I get pulled 3 ways. One between me and my project, my long-term project that I set up a business for that doesn't make any money. Hence, I keep going to do my day job. There's that one that took me 10 years of programming. 10 years of programming, and I make the firmware and the PCBs and all sorts of stuff. And it's a desktop program. I don't know whether you've seen that. I could give you a quick demo. I always give people a quick demo. Here we go. So it's a bit of software. Similar. It's what the same language I'm writing in here. Same language that. Hang on, what's that doing? Yeah, we're in the same language.
Welcome to UPass.
So you've got this. This is what. This is a prerequisite to all this stuff, but this you can talk to it. So I can build into this radio voice commands, right? I could literally say, "Yasu, go find me a clear channel," on the, you know. Yasu, find some stations, or Yasu, shut down, all this kind of stuff, and I'm not even joking. You ready for this? UPass, what time is it?
The time is 2 p.m.
UPass, expand 8.1. UPass, expand 8.2. UPass, expand rack. Missed that one. UPass, expand rack. UPass, expand rack. There you go. Does miss you now and again. And see, this is designed to shrink and grow. A bit funky going on there. Well, this is a project I was working on for 10 years in the morning and afternoons and evenings. But it shrinks down, so you can collapse it down. Right, it's collapsed down here, and you can expand it to the full screen. Unfortunately, this is not the primary monitor, so it keeps opening up in the other monitor, so that's what you get. You got your tree views. You can do things like scripts. I always play the Wargames script.
Greetings, Professor Fulton. Excellent 15 long time. Can you explain the removal of your user account on June 23rd, 1973? Shall we play a game? Hold on.
Thank you for using UPass.
Yeah, it is slightly crazy. That's me, slightly crazy, but yeah. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I can almost make anything I want to do anything, given enough time and incentive. But it's not. Well, it won't be like so. You know the saying, "Jack of all trade, master of none." Well, I'm slightly in a disposition because I'm not a master of all, but I'm not a jack. I'm not a jack of all. Oh, I'm not a jack of all trade. I can do most things well. So, but not brilliantly, and not too bad. I haven't used AI, not a lot, no. I've started to lately, but originally there was no AI. When I started writing my stuff back in 2012 for that main project, there was no AI, and it's only then in the last 2 or 3 years that the ChatGPT came in. So I've used a bit on here just for laziness, really, just to speed things up. It created this skin based on a photograph I submitted. So this skin is basically, you won't find this skin like this. It's concoct, so it's put in some weird livery on it, but it's based off a photograph that was generated by AI. I've got it to generate it because, well, first I was trying to get it to cut out. If you look at some earlier episodes, you'll see that this is jagged, because I tried to edit the PNG and get the corners nice and round, and I was struggling a bit. So what I did, I submitted it over and over and said, can you shape these corners? And then some of the fill, because it's based on a photograph, and the photograph is slightly skewed, but to give it a more realistic effect, like these buttons are skewed that way, so the camera position is sort of in the middle, and this one's skewed slightly that way, with a camera position sort of around here. So, but if you try to make everything controlled so it's head on, you lose the perspective, and then you start looking at what looks like just a form with round controls on, you know, flat controls. And so yeah, there's a lot going on to it. So anyway, going back to the frequency, what I wanted to do is put in here a little note or something to say, a little note to say what the band or the frequency is usually for. Then I can tell the radio to go off. We can mark the channels and stuff, the frequencies, to say this is normally used for SSB. So if I say to it a voice command, or if I just say find me a clear channel, if I don't specify the frequency or the mode, it will just use the frequency and mode that we're on. So if I change the band to, hang on, let's go back to this one. So if I change the band over, just running it up again. So if I was to just change the band to 7, for instance, if I asked it to find a clear channel, it wouldn't go back to 14. It would go around here, whichever. At the minute, it doesn't know where to look for it, and I've not specified. But if I change the mode to CW, and I say go and find me a clear frequency, it would know where the CW frequencies are, and it'll have a little listen on each one, probably 2 or 3 times. Have a little listen, and it'll give me a similar list. Like, let's just change that back to USB. It's not going to show you because now it is. So if I go into the station scope and I do a scan now, I've got the volume down, so you're not going to hear anything. Plus my aerial is in the other radio. Let me switch the aerial over. Right. Let's do it again. We've got a threshold value here. So if I do a scan, it's going to go and find... Well, it's just finding stations, this one is, but it could just as easy look for a clear channel, as in not much activity, or, you know, this one will find people depending on how good the... And you could, because we've got an audio processor, we've got a library that we can process audio through the microphone. It possibly could listen, and it might make the determination whether there's a voice on there or not, or just noise. But that will need to have an algorithm that detects voice. I mean, I possibly could get to listen for CQ. So when I'm talking to it, I'm saying, Yasu, find me a clear channel. You could get it to listen for a CQ or general chitter chat back and forth. I don't know. But then if you're not quite on frequency, it's going to come back. You know, that's work for some. There's some libraries somebody's made. I don't know if it includes anything advanced like that. Possibly it would do. So you're just going to use a library basically. Anyway, that's not finding anything on there, so I'll try another one. So what you'd have a different display mode, whether you want to display frequency or channel. So it would give you channel or channel description plus the frequency in smaller. So, you know, but you'd have to rearrange some of this, or have a different screen. So you have main screen, and you toggle it to whichever one. So you start off with station scope. Hang on, I'm going backward and forward here. I've gone too far there. So this is the main one. So you can keep that. You can have one with frequency, one with channel. You know, there's all sorts of stuff. There's so much stuff you can do. Split, you can work split. Say I want to work split, and you can monitor split as well. So you could use the audio. So when one unkeys or the signal drops, if it doesn't see anyone coming back, or you could go to the split. There's so many different things. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I like the skin on the black background. It's very good on the black background, just like that. But I envisage one day, I know when this one's done, maybe an FT, doesn't really need it, an FT710 under here. So you stack these up like that. And also, this one is set size, but I could easily put it in a viewport and stretch it to the full screen. So I could have a little full screen. So I did it on my phone the other day, and I just zoomed in and brought it up to the extent. You know, you can zoom it in, but you know, it depends. You might want to make it smaller as well. So yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. And I did have a mode. There's something I used to do with this program. I'll show you, because I made this transparent. So
welcome to UPass.
So this, you've got a little thing here, so I can actually take it into the background. You can bring in, you can leave it always on top. So I could go, bring it back again. Just change its display mode to always on top. Alright, and then when it's always on top, you can go into the background. Right, so it stays then. See how it's staying there? It's still there, active. Can't actually see it now. It's gone that far down. Let me bring it back a bit. I can't see it. Yeah, let's bring it back. So you can basically shrink this. The idea is you keep it in your background, you see. So if I want to carry on monitoring something, I'll carry on working down here while it's there. See what I mean? So that's just one thing you can do with it. Let's close it down.
Thank you for using UPass.
You talk to it, it talks back. So you could say, Yasu, find me a clear channel, please. And let's say, finding you a clear channel on band whatever, 420 meters in USB. It'll come back, it'll go away while you're listening. Depending on your settings, whether it aggressively tries to find a clear channel or just lets you, if it senses you're monitoring something, talking, it can nip off a little every second. Say we've got so many frames going on. If we run this, we've got so many frames a second. We're basing the frames not on display frames. It's based on amount of cat commands being sent backward and forward. Right, and you've got the amount of cat commands that have missed. So at the minute it's 100%. It's not missed any. So every time I've sent one out here, it's received one back. So you could push the speed a bit if you wanted, even more. But the frames per second, say if I'm listening to audio here, it could easily nip off, sample a frequency and come back. It could before I've even know the difference, and it's not gone away long enough for me to hear anything. It could have it mute temporarily while it's gone and unmute when it comes back, and it gathered the information about the frequency and slowly build a list up like this. Slowly build a list of clear frequencies. So then you just you go down the list like this. Think, oh, there's a nice clear one there. So just add that, double click or add it to this list, and then you're there, basically. You're on it. Anyway, that's the kind of thing. Right, so yeah, no problem. Yeah, so at the minute, because there's no release version of this, there is no restriction in it. But we've got a lot of work to do yet on it before it's even ready. Then we need to get a lot of people who've got these radios to test it, and there shouldn't be bugs, but I mean, something can bring it down if we've optimized it for not a good quality USB cable with with some.
Yeah, we're not far off the
cores.
peak of the hill, so the aerial should be over the top of it. It won't be as good as it definitely is
I just realised that wasn't even on the right frequency. 145,500. That was it. Yeah, that's alright. That's just someone happened to jump on there. Yeah. Anyway, so there's loads of things to it. You know, we've got this series. As soon as we've got a functional thing where most of the function is in here and it's working, we'll release a make a released version of it, and then it'll be popped back in and add stuff like anything else that needs to be added. But the display mode it's like the transceiver mode, and you could put it into any mode you want. Like I could put it into Morse code training, Morse code training, and you could just use your keyboard to send code and receive it. It's already got a decoder in, but we've got to do loads more work on it on the decoder. But at the minute I've got enough to get on with. Got plenty to get on with. Anyway, yeah, welcome to the stream. So getting back to today's thumbnail, let's have a look. I forgot what it is I was doing. Oh yeah, carrying on from this morning. So we've get the dynamic livery working. We'll be able to do that now. So basically, whichever mode I'm in, this value here will change. Bring in the current value based on the rig mode and what function we're into. At the minute that's level. So let's crack on with that. So that doesn't need to be there anymore. That can just go back to here. So the reason we got a problem with the index earlier on is because we never put that in the constructor, so it never got ran. So there was no, even though we created 4, it never got run, so it wouldn't have had anything to deal with. So let's give that a go now. Yes, code is weird. Everyone has their own programming language that they like to use, and basically mine's based on what I'm familiar with. If I suddenly changed over to a new one, I would spend a lot of time trying to learn it instead of getting any work done. But yeah, right, I'm going to scroll this wheel now. We've got a value 1. Let's turn off the send so we can watch the debug come out. So scroll up. Right, it says 4, but it's coming back as 0. But it is doing the update, so my little piece of debug is not working right. Right, selected item. Oh, it is, because that's the selected index was that. So it's the delta we are after. And we are updating the level, I think, are we? Yeah. No. Yes, we're updating. Yeah, we're reading back the level, so it is updating the level based on. Where is it doing that? That's a point. So the text is the current value. It's definitely going up. Here it is. So we're setting the current value to level, which is part of the delta. So I swapped over that function. So if we say, well, we can see it working anyway. So level plus plus. Yeah. So we've got a temporary variable, then we're writing it out to, we're reading it in from the current value, then we're writing it into the current value, and then we're reading it back out again. But the debug is printing the wrong bit, because we changed it trying to debug, so we want to just change this to level. It doesn't really need to be printed out anymore, because we're coming back on the actual knob. So let's have a look at that. So we've got no clamping going on yet, so we need to clamp that. Right, so if I go on here, turn off the send. There we go, the level's going up and down. There we go. I'm scrolling up, scrolling down. So that's level there, so we could directly use that now to set the level, which is You can't get to it. Well, you might be able to get to it. So we'd need to put that in the main level now, this bit here. So we can either move that. Let's have a look. So the transceiver function menu. No, the main. So the main, we're just doing the waterfall. So we'd have to copy this over. Just gonna sneeze. So what I want to do, this is on the waterfall, increase the level. Right, so I'm going to copy this into this bit here. So we've got to copy that when we're in main. We'll be able to scroll in main. Now at the minute, it's doing something else. So I need to keep that, but stop it doing something else. So if we're in level, that'll do that. That's good. So when I need to default the function menu. I need to default to, where's our default function? We're on level. Right, so I need to go back into the class. We're starting at function selected item level, but we also need to the transceiver state. I'm defaulting. I've got to find transceiver states now. What did I do with it? There it is. Transceiver display modes. So I told it to do radio ID check. Right, I don't know what that mode is. So we got radio ID check, yeah. So we need to default to main, so when it boots up, it'll go back to main. Main. Last transceiver, we'll put that on main as well. So when we run the program, it'll go straight into main, which is the main waterfall. Simulated waterfall display. Let me just check the audio, see if it's still. Yeah, because when I started the stream, it was all bitty. Oh, didn't start, did it? What happened there? So that didn't affect it. Let's try it again. What does that take me straight into? It's not supposed to take me into that. No. And it says I'm on simulated waterfall, but it's showing me this. So there's a bit somewhere else where you've got to do it, switch. So I must be setting that somewhere else. So we start in main, we're going to station scope. Right, I'm going to find all references to this. I probably setting it so probably need to find the constructor for it. Somewhere I've set it into while I was doing debugging of that screen. It'll be here somewhere. Can't see it by looking. Right, function class. Right, that's starting it off. That's weird, isn't it? That's weird why it wanted to start, even though I changed it. Right, so transceiver. Maybe. Right, so transceiver modes. So we're in transceiver display mode. So we've got no constructor, but I've told it the default one is main. So if we're switching from main, it's gonna. I don't know what is going on now. switch to display mode. Right, let's find all references. Oh, no, without reference. We've never switched to it. Change display mode. So, yeah, we can only toggle at the minute. So, what we want is to do that one at the start. So what I did to make it start, I'm doing a check. If it's display mode is main, then go to station scope. Back to transceiver mode, don't know. Right, so look, we could issue that one, I suppose. So we should be able to do it from here. We've got no constructor, so no, we can't do it from there. Unless I create a constructor, or I could probably just do it from somewhere around here once I've initialized it. So, yeah, I could. Switch to display mode. You want your tab control. You need the name of that, which is, oh god, I thought I'd put this in somewhere. Right, hang on. Yeah, I've lost track of it now. Function menu. Yeah, I've lost track of it, so it's not part of that at all. So, transceiver display modes, where are you? I've got to find that. I'm looking for the wrong one. Not finding it. Yeah, not finding that at the minute. Right, transceiver display state. That's the TX RX state. Yeah, I can't find stuff anymore. That's what happens when you get older. Your short-term memory's gone. It's annoying. I feel worn out. Let's put the fan on. Day job takes it out of you. Working all day yesterday in the sun. Come on, went to bed because I was tired. And I wanted to do a stream, but I was too tired. Right, so I'm not finding it. Right. Display modes. We've got no constructor, so we've got static display mode there. We've changed display mode. It only happens when you click on it. So really, because I changed it there, it should have just displayed the one I put it on. But I never issued this switch to, did I? Right, let's find all references to this. That's going to be in the mouse button down. So there's your change to display mode. And all that does is toggle it. Hang on, or does it? Oh, you can actually change the display mode. So we should be able to issue that in a line somewhere. Oh dear, right, let's go here. Change display mode. The mode can be transceiver modes dot main. Right, I don't know what that'll do. Let's give it a go. No, I don't know if I've tested this function. It's never been used yet, so yeah. Oh, it's still on station. It's gone to the next one. because let's go to display mode. Hang on, transceiver display modes, change the mode. If I send it display mode main, it sets it to station scope, so I've got to set it to radio checked. Yeah, to get it to switch back the other way. Right, okay. So that's why I created the other function. Where has it gone? This one. Switch display mode. So you can go to an actual display mode instead of switching to the next one. So we want to put all that detail in there. That needs to be there, tells it which tab control we're dealing with. Transceiver mode, transceiver label. Right, so that would have to go into here. Okay, now the label, I don't know what label it's talking about. Transceiver label, so that takes it straight there. Switch to display mode. The label, content tag value. Okay, so I need the display label, which is that one there. Function mode label. That needs to go passed into as a parameter and finish it off. So right, that should switch straight to that mode now. Should straight to, no, we've got errors. What errors? We got ambiguity. Right, so it's gone ahead and between forms, so it's gone ahead and put forms in here when I never asked it to. Don't use forms. Right, it should be alright now. Yeah, so it starts on the main screen now, see, that's it, that's what we want. Right, okay, so we got it back to there. So if I toggle that, it'll go to the next one, next one, next one, and back. That's what we're after. So in here now, I should be able to, oh, sorry, it's put the wrong name in there. So that was a mistake on my part. So it's not looking for that one, it's looking for that one. Tab control description, that's the one it's looking for. And I put the wrong label in the wrong one. That's it. That's the right one. Ugh. Yeah, I'll get tired. I'll get tired. Right, so we got level. So if I do, I'm changing the level. That's what we want. Now we need some clamping, because while I'm doing this, if I go minus, well, I'm not actually setting the level yet, I'm just setting a variable that will go plus and minus. But we've got to then look at the parameter in the function menu class for it. So we were doing level, and the parameter, it'll go to minus 30 and plus 30, which is the level of the waterfall level. So, but I've got to clamp that, so when I'm scrolling, yeah, give me a second, I've just got to nip off for 2 seconds, back in a minute. I do, back again. Let me just check the audio now. I've put the fan back on. Make sure I'm not making the microphone balance off, to give the live stream enough time to catch back up. There's a long delay on it. Yeah. Let me just check the audio now. I've put the fan. Yeah, we're fine. If you listen to the start of the live stream, you realise why I have to check that. Good job I checked it, because I would have been talking with garbled messages. Right, so yeah, so when we do hang on. Yeah, so when we're doing some, right, I've lost it now, haven't I? I've got to find, right, so I actually lost the position of it now, so I need to go to here. So you got your text block, mouse wheel, go to the definition. This is half the battle, finding out where you was again. Right, so we're in function menu selected. If it's main, switch the so we've got a transit. We've got different things going on. We've got different transceiver modes like waterfall, CW, filters, station scope, whatever. Slow scan television, FT8. Yeah, some to come. Then you've got to switch between the menu item that you selected. So if you selected level, we've got to do some clamping going on. Now whether we can do it one at a time, so we'll have to check different things. So instead of doing it here, getting the value and incrementing it, we need to do it from a central location over on the function menu class. So this bit here, we need to sort of copy this, yeah, copy that out of there, create a new function in the menu. So set up, so it says you've got the list, change the function menu item, so it is a function item. So we're going to have to create a new function here, change the function menu. So that's probably not doing enough anymore. Oh, it does change the function menu. So the function button then becomes something else once it's chose the menu. So we're going to have to put it in there somewhere. So we'll leave the function menu, get a border by tag, that's an auxiliary thing. So we'll pop it in here. So public, static, and we've got to think of a name for it now. Do we want to return anything? Maybe, do we want to return a text? No, we probably could just put it straight in, so void. We'll pass it in. So we'll pass the thing we're trying to update in, or it'll always be the same one anyway. I don't know. Let's try it. So what we've got to do is check the parameter that's being passed in, whether it is compatible with the type of thing we're doing. So we could just say these fans are either on or full blast, or there's no like really low setting. It's just too much. It's on one, you can go up, off, it's nothing. Yeah, there's a speed controller on it. So I've got to think of a name for this now. Tell you what, let's not think of a name there. Let's call it Foo Bar, otherwise we'll never have a name for it. We'll be sat here thinking of a name for hours and hours and hours. So I'm going to paste in the code that does it. won't do anything, so we can see from it what we're trying to do though. So it knows the function menu list, and it'll need the function menu selected item, which is already up here anyway, somewhere. Yeah, it's already there, so we don't need to pass that in. So that can stay. The level can stay. In fact, the level can be passed in. No, so we've got level. We'll take the level from the current item. That's great. So we're managing multiple levels. The delta will need to be passed in, and the delta, we need to find out what the delta is. It's a double, so we're going to create a, first thing we're going to create is a double. I'm just going to call it delta. Alright, so we've got delta, so now it knows what delta is. The debug level, that'll just be, have I got a main window? Don't know if I've passed, have I created a constructor? No, I've not passed main window in. So it can't, yeah, it can't do that. I would have to pass main window in so it can do access the thing I'm trying to put in. A debug. Do we need a debug there? Not sure if we need a debug. I could have made that static. Maybe it is static. I don't know. Let's have a look. Debug. Private. Okay. So we'll pass it in. I'll change the change this here. It's only get run once, so what we'll have to do is create a under here. Actually, that if we passing in variables, I got a certain way I do stuff, so I'll have to put it in the right order, so I get OCD. It's private, so I'm just going to say main window, main window, and then I'm going to pass that in as a argument for this, and then I'm going to make this dot main window equals main window. So that could have been this as well, so I don't know why I did it that way, but anyway. Oh, doesn't like it. Oh, I must have made it static, yeah, that's why. Made it static. Shouldn't have made it static really, but why did I make it static? Anyway, we'll leave it now since it's already like that. Okay, so we've got main window, so I can just go down this list now and type in main window. Right, it's not liking it. For why? Oh, because it's a static class. We're creating a static class, so that would have to be a static as well. That's probably why I made it static, because we don't want copies of it. Okay, this goes against everything. I don't normally use static classes, so in order to get to appear, we're going to make it static, and then we'll have to do that in order to reference it. It's only a placeholder for it. Alright, so that's that. It's keeping the same idea, but I don't like it at all. But anyway, it's okay now, so it'll do the debug stuff. Right, so function value text block, it doesn't know what that is. So we're going to have to pass in a text block. Text block. We'll pass it in with exactly the same names. Because really it's just a pointer to the original, so it is the same as the original really. Right, so we're okay there. So level is whatever the current selected function thing is. Okay, that's it. So whichever one's current, it'll alter it. Now we need to do our boundaries here, but so what's the name for this function? I don't know. We've got to call it something. Right. Do level. Set level. Yeah, set function selected item level. Okay. Set function menu selected item level. Okay, that's exactly what we're doing, so that's what we'll use. Right, so it's got everything it needs to do that now. So all we've got to do is go back to our preview mouse wheel, go to the definition down here. So instead of in here doing all that again, we just got to paste in our function or method, and we're going to have to reference the function menu class. Okay, and we need to pass in some stuff. So the first thing we need to pass in is delta. So we pass delta in. Then the second thing is the text block value function text. So yeah, that's the bit that you're trying to send the value to. Which is function value text block. Now is that the same as we allocated here? Yeah, that's it. Okay, so we're passing in that one, and that's all we're passing in. Yeah, so that's all we got to do there, and we could get rid of this switch statement because it's just going to do its own one, but we'll leave it there for now. So we can effectively take it out of here as well, take it out of there. So we're doing exactly the same. Oh, that's not the one, that's the one. So we can do it from there, but I don't think we'll need all the switch stuff because we're literally going to do it to whichever one is current anyway, because we're in the same class. So all we need to do is pass in the delta and that's what we're doing. Set function menu selected item level. Right, so here it is, but now we need to constrain it. The delta goes too high, and the way we do that is to check its we have to read out its current value. So we can just get that now. We'll go int, it's almost the same as that actually. We can grab it from the start. We need two of them. So it's level max, no sorry, level min and level max. So we're going to go to min and then this one will be max. We're taking it out of the variable, so we've got our three variables. Current value, so whatever the current value, then we're going to plus it or minus depending on the delta, and then what we've got to do is check it. Okay, so if the current delta is greater than 0 and delta is less than level max. If it's less than level max, it'll let you go plus plus, and else do an else if delta is less than hang on, if delta is greater than 0 and delta is so if delta is less than level max, then plus plus, else if delta if delta is greater than no, it's going to be level, level. I'm slightly doing that wrong. So if the delta is greater than 0, no, we've done that wrong. Let's just undo some of that stuff. We're basing it on the wrong variable. Right, so we've got if delta is greater than 0, then we do a plus, and we go if level is if it's less than level max, then go plus plus. Only increase it if it's less than the level. And then we've got to do one here if level if level is greater than 0, no, greater than level min, then level minus minus. Okay, so it can only take it to its own levels. Alright, okay, and then we're setting the level. So we're doing the checks from there, basically. Right, let's give it a go. Will it work? Who thinks it'll work? And who thinks there'll be a problem? I don't know. There's a problem straight away. Okay, oops, it's typo. Max, there we go. Okay, try again. More error. Okay, what's the problem? Oh, it just needs me to push in that this is looking for main window, so we need to push this into the constructor. So programming is easy because if you forget something, it reminds you. It tells you there's an error. Imagine if it didn't tell you an error, what mess you'd be in then. So I'm going to turn off the scope so I can see the debug. So if I go up, right, so we know we can go up to 30, so I'm scrolling up, it should stop at 30, yeah, stopped at 30. And if I go down, it should stop at, it's not going down. Right, it's going up but not down. So something wrong with my here. Right, so if level is less than level max, level plus plus. If delta, so if level, hang on. If level is greater than level minimum, level minus minus. Oh, that should have worked. So what we've got is a problem somewhere. Right, so we're sending the delta through. Got current level, making it equal to level. Right, not sure what's going on there. Let's just check the level. So you've got minus 30, plus 30, current level 0, level name, scale, level dB. Right, so I don't know why that was not scrolling to where it should be. So if the level, if the delta's, if it's going over 0, it means level plus plus will go up, and it else if it's less than delta, less than 0, you need to go level minus minus. Level is greater than level min. It's always, it is level, yeah. So it is greater than level min, because it's on 30 and that is on 0. Oh, minus. Maybe it doesn't like the. Yeah, it should be okay. Should know what minus is. So I don't quite get what is going on. That shouldn't have done that. Let's try going minus straight away on it. Right, I'm going to go minus. Stop that. And minus. We're stomping at 0. We can go up. We can't go back down. So for some reason we're.
Hello, CQ, CQ, hello, CQ, CQ. CQ, CQ2, CQ, Golf number 6, Zulu, Foxtrot, Zulu, calling CQ, hello CQ, Golf 6, Zulu, Foxtrot, Zulu, calling CQ, by Penny calls.
Right, so we've got our delta. So we're passing in delta. Right, so the delta's worked out there.
Good afternoon, I hope you're well. Shall we go to 550?
So the delta. So we've got a bit of a problem because. Oh no, that's right, the delta. Yeah, so it is going up and down one at a time. If the delta does this, go right and go left. On the menu, if we're in main, we're in main. Then we want to do switch selected menu item, level, delta, sending in the delta. No, maybe we don't want to send the delta. Yeah, it should work. Was working earlier. Right, so that should work. So something going on here. So the level will be greater than the level min. Level minus minus. Right, I don't quite get it. So we put level to 30. Hang on. Yeah, level plus plus level minus minus. Comes in and sets it. And if next time we come in, if it picks the level up, if it's greater than, it will be greater than. It's supposed to do minus minus, but it's not. Let's see if it ever gets to that bit. There's something weird going on here. Right, so we're going up first. Let's turn that off, so we go up, down. Staying on level 2. So it doesn't know. So level level min, right. If it's greater than level min, for some reason it's equating level min so print the level. So it's sticking at yeah. I don't get it. I'll tell you what, let's give it to AI and tell it what is happening. They asked me earlier if I use AI sometimes. Right, so I need to bring that over to here. Who should we use? ChatGPT. Oh, clicked the wrong one. What's on your mind today? Yeah. Right, so my max level is 30. My min level is minus 30. For some reason I can go up to 30 and but cannot go down. There's the code. Something I've done wrong, got a mental block. Without braces, your code is parsing as the else belongs to the nearest unmatched if. What? So logic becomes, notice that the delta is less than or equal nothing. Nothing happens at all. Use braces to make the intent explicit. Right? I thought you had to do that if you're on a separate line. Or more simply, okay, if delta can be exactly 0 and you don't want the level to change, in that case use no, so we'll have that one. If delta is less than or equal to 0 and sorry, I've found out what it is now. I found out what it is, so we can go back to the original. I forgot I'm dealing with the ability to go minus. So that needs to be level min. Is greater than or equal to, it's greater than level min plus plus, else if level is greater than sorry, less than level, hang on, if level is less than level max plus plus, so if delta is greater than level min, that's wrong. Okay, let's have it his way. I've lost it now. Where's it gone? Right, so if it's greater than 0 and level is less than go plus plus. No. That's wrong. If it's greater than level min. Yeah, greater than level. If delta is greater than level min and level is less than max, go plus plus. Oh no, sorry, that was right the way it was. It's confusing. Yeah, so if it's greater than 0, it's going into the plus direction. Yeah, and if it's less than or equal to 0, so if it's greater than, oh my god, let's just try that. I don't normally go minus. I go to 0 and that's it, and then go plus. I don't go minus. But let's try it anyway. Turn that off. Go plus. So going up, I can come down now, and I can go minus to 30. So we're on minus 30. That's maxed out. So let's go plus. Can I get to 0? I've got 0. 0 and minus 0, 0 and plus 1, all the way up to 30. Yeah, so that takes care of that. Okay, that takes care of that. Now I haven't got any explicit. So if it doesn't sit in there and it doesn't sit in there, else we've got to default something. Else let's just default level to 0. Okay, current value or 0. Let's make it 0. If it now we'll make it 0. Center. Right, now center might not be center. So we probably need a, yeah, we need an extra thing on it, on the class, an extra capability. Current value, so we need a default value. Let's have a default value. Default. Well, in this case, actually, yeah, default value. Right, so we need to set a default value. Default is equal to 0. You have to determine this at this stage because what's it doing? Oh, it doesn't want to see that. Wants that. You go minus, you go plus, and default. That's fine. See, some of them, the min value is 1. So you've got to set the default value. You can't have it on 0. So peak will default to being 1. This one is a 0 or a 1. So it defaults to being off. This one's 1 to 11. It's a colour, and I know the default is 1, so that's it. So when we go on this bit here, so we need to extract the default value now as well. I'll tell you what, let's not do that 3 times like that. Let's just create a variable, call it function menu min max scale type. So function menu min max scale type is F. Okay. So just say F equals this one here. Right, so we've got it once, and that's it. So level equals to a F dot current value, and this one is equal to F dot min, and this one's equal to F dot max, and we want a new one called default. Level default equals max F dot default. There we go. So we've got everything we want, and we don't even need variables now. We could just use that. Okay, we'll do that then. Right, so F current value is level, so we're going to go current value plus plus minus minus and set the default, and we're going to write back that value there, and we're going to write back its current value there, and we're going to make this current value. Okay, so we don't need all that again, so we're writing it into there, and then we're reading it back out. Yeah, we'll leave that as it is, because then that'll confirm that it got written. Right, so we need to do something else. So the delta is the only thing we're passing in, so we need to pass in level there, F value level, and again there, and we do level max. Oh, sorry. F level max, F level min, okay, so we've got current value less than max, current value greater than min, so we should be able to get rid of those three now. Should be able to get rid of that, and everything else should be hunky-dory. Okay. Right, so that should work. Let's try it. Let's change some. Oh, we need to do one other thing. Get rid of the switch statement. Let's just try this out. Let's turn that off. So we got going up to and then down. Yeah, so we're switching it. Oh, it keeps going down when I'm scrolling. Ah, because we're setting it to 0. We don't want that. We don't want that. So if, yeah, so we're setting it to 0. It just needs to be current level is current level. So we don't want this statement at all. Get rid of that statement. It's dropping us back to 0. Oh, actually that needs to be the default value. No, it needs to, yeah, so we need to ignore the value. So we go up to 30, down to minus 30. Okay, that's that. Right, so we've got your value there, reflecting what's going on. Okay, so now if we want to switch from level to something else, we've got to get rid of all this. just change that. We don't need to switch the level, so we just need to put it in there. Get rid of the switch statement. We need to do the same for filters. In fact, that automatically switches. Oh, for transceiver, yeah, you might want to do it for each transceiver mode. So simplified the code a bit. Right. So, but you might want to do that regardless of transceiver mode. But you might want to stop it in a certain transceiver mode, like when you're in function. Because the function does its own thing, I think. Right, anyway, let's crack on. So we should be able to change from function to function. Let's see what we can do. So we've got plus 30 and minus 30 in that mode. So we're in level, and if we change to peak, we should be able to go whatever peak is now. Current value goes to 5 and down to 1. Right, that's 5 to 1, and if we change to marker, that's going to be a on and off, 1 and a 0. Yeah, that's it. If we change to colour, this is 1 to 11, so it goes up to 11 and back down to 1. That's right. That's great. That's what we want. Is there any more? No, that's it. That's as far as we've gone. So now we could use that level to alter our level or our multiply factor for our graphic waterfall menu. So that'll be good. We can do a real life turning up the level. Right, let's do the level. So we want the main waterfall menu, if I can find it. It's not there. There it is. Waterfall sweep. No, it's not that. So I've got to find the bit that does station seek. No. Spectrum scope. Here it is. Simulated waterfall. Right, so where we do the simulated waterfall, scroll the pointer and change the cursor, get the span in hertz, get the frequency, change the span legends, get hertz. I don't know where the bit is that updates the waterfall now. It's something to do with, right, it's a cat control for receiving the meter reading. So it will be in the incoming loop, handle incoming data. So you got main, do transceiver main. So in the transceiver main is here. So from the panel meter, active meter, so it's going to be doing something like convert to double signal strength, generate a band scope sprite. There it is. Generate a history sprite. So the band scope sprite has got a height multiplier there. So in other words, we should put the value, instead of just set as 1, we should put so we know it's only going to be affected by level, so we need to get level. So we need to do some of this again. Function menu, current value. Just joined the Facebook. Amazing work on this. Love all the detail in it. Oh, brilliant. Thank you very much. Let's just say welcome. We want to welcome everyone we can. Welcome at K0. Right. Here we go. Right, so K0BF 970. Yeah, well, that's great because we've had oh god, what was his name there? Was it John? Might have been John. Can't remember. Sorry. Yeah, he's put an entry in there after we set it up today just to reflect. So anyone can use that to add requests for features or something in there. There's something you wanted to do and you found it a niggle in other things, then let us know while we're still developing it. Like, it'll always be able to add new stuff, but you know, anything we put in there is great for as far as we're concerned. Yeah, welcome to the stream. So I'm just this minute setting the level of the sprite that does a simulated waterfall. If I can find it again. Right, so I'm in the simulated waterfall and I seem to have lost the position. Oh no, we want back in this one. Oh, sorry, cat control. We've got lots of stuff all over the place. So generate the sprite. Now we can try and put it in there. So we've got to change that one. Current value. That's it'll be current value. We've got to make sure we select don't know what the name of the. We've got to select level because we want function menu level struct. Function menu dot level. That selects the right one from the list. Gets its current parameter. So that should be all it is. Now they've got a history sprite, the width multiplier. So we're on 2 there, so really that ought to be the same, really. That ought to be the same, so we need to pass that parameter in as well. Now I did set that for 2, so I think they were both on 2. So anyway, that ought to have done it for the panel meter, but we've got the same thing down here. So we ought to do it for that one as well. And this one, I don't think it uses that though. Right, okay. That should be enough. So now the graphics are going to go out of bounds because the height and width, we'll have to try and reduce them. Right, so we need some data now. So we need to find someone who's on a channel. So let's do a bit of a sweep on the station scope. See if there's anyone around. There's never anyone around. Just the bands have been bad, so it's difficult to find anyone to do a test. I didn't hear anything come out of there then. No, it's all pretty much down in the back of the set. Noise. Let's try 40 meters. This is the main problem, trying to find some activity. Right, 80 meters. Not hearing any voices. No. Can't hear anything. Forget. Oh yeah, we want some activity for our station scope. I'll tell you what, we could do it off noise as well. We'll find a bit of noise and we'll do it off that. So let's just go down the list. We'll find a bit of noise. Oh, that was definitely noise. Right, we'll add that over there. I'll go back to station scope. Right, so we're on station scope. There's no activity. Right, we're on level, so should. That's because it's out of bounds. Oh, there we go. There's the level. Obviously, it's going wild. It's gone a bit wild. So it's based on the level of an FT710, and we need to restrain it to its maximum. Let's have a scope sweep. So that sweep is not doing the level. So let's mute the RF a minute. Right, that's gone right up to there. So yeah, we've got to have some constraints in there. So let's get this sweep working. So we've got one called sweep somewhere. Oh, waterfall sweep, there it is. So in here there'll be another thing to draw a sprite. Get span. So where about is it? No, I think it's just moving it across, but it's supposed to be drawing a setup UI. Right, don't know. Am I missing it somewhere? So it draws it when it gets over the threshold. Can't. Yeah, got to find that bit. Sweep. What's that? Level thresholds. Start frequency, end frequency. Long step. Step. Oh, and then the level threshold. Yeah, so the level threshold is... I'm not sure if that level threshold... What are we doing here? Level threshold. See where... Are we using it anywhere? Maybe we're not doing anything with it. Oh. We're not handle threshold detection here, so we're not actually doing anything with it. So the height of active band scan scope. Right, okay. Set left, set top. So we're adding a rectangle. Well, the height is the height. The fill, okay. The height stays the same. So, this is experimental so far. Current meter reading. So the height, we could make, we're saying that's the height. The get the S meter integer for band scope. So we could multiply it by, let's just try that, see what happens. Height equals height, or plus equals, then we want to do, can we get it? Function menu class current value. Yeah. Don't know what this is going to do. We'll give it a go. We've got to put some adjustments in it because our levels exceed our dimensions. Right, so if I do a scan now, I'll just go up a notch, scan again, up another notch, scan again. Right, let's go up 4. Is that bottom one, that sweep, is it? Ignore that one, but is this sweep changing? Certainly looks like it, doesn't it? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll increase it. Yeah, so I mean that's it. So that is actually changing the level there. The background noise, yeah. So it is doing the level for the sprite area, but not the history. I haven't told it to do the history yet. And we can put scope on. Yeah, so this obviously the level is doing that, but the sprite is another value. We need to limit that. Obviously, yeah, at least we've got some interaction going on, but we're coming out of the bounds. Now if we change the span to something like that, is that even changing? So that's just doing the current position. Let's turn the scope off a minute. So I think I needed to do the level here and not that level, because that was already being set. And the width possibly, but based on, yeah, so let's just undo some of that. So we wanted the waterfall sweep, that's right, but we didn't want the, can't see it now, it's right, which one didn't we want? So that's the waterfall sweep. Right, so the main one, cat control, right, here it is. So the band scope sprite seemed to be alright where it was, didn't it? We could limit it. That goes up to 30, but you can't times it by 30. Maybe we don't, yeah, maybe we don't set that one. Maybe we leave that as 2, and we leave this one as 2. Okay, and then we'd have to set these two as 2 as well, just in case we selected this one. I think that was on 2 before. Right, we'll work that out after. So as long as we can set the level on our main sweep, but it does set the level on the FT710, alters that level as well. So that's fully up too far according to that. Right, I must have made a mistake there. Probably it should have been 1. I'll tell you what, let me just do some undoing and I'll find the real value. that value. I think it was 1. Let's just undo, 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 until we get back to whatever it was. What it's doing it in, yeah, it was 1. That's it. Right, so we'll put them back as they were. So they'll be back, and it's just be the level of the sweep that will adjust at the minute. Yeah, that's better. So by adjusting this, we're not changing until we do a sweep. So that's the that's 30, so that's your max level. So I don't think we quite get to the max. It needs to peak out at the top, doesn't it, really? Or does it? Maybe not. And then you go your minus level. What happens if you go minus? Right, it's not going to like a minus level, is it? Ah, it's crashed now. Yeah, it's crashed. So, yeah, so you can't draw a rectangle to the minus. So that one level is not quite what we're after. It's great. So we've got our level. Where's our level? It's gone over here. For some reason it's moved itself all the way from there over to there, just to drive us insane. Right, so we define the level. Yeah, this is based on it's based on the FT710's level, minus 30, but the way we're drawing it, it's dB, it's decibels. So we need to add that decibel thing to the description. So we're not doing anything with scale type yet. So when we go down here, we need to add the scale type to the end of the label. So we can't do a minus on a graphic, so we'd have to bottom it out, basically. Bottom it out. So this is the set level. When it's doing the text, we need to tell it what to bring up. We haven't actually told it. We need a list of types. Have we got a list of types? We've got a list of scale types, but there's no text to go with it. Scale name. Oh, we've got a string empty. So we have got a scale name. Have we used it? Scale name level. Right, we don't need the scale name, we need the decibel. I should have sent decibels there. That should say dB. Yeah, and this should say LV. LV. Now, some of them it comes after, some of it becomes before. So I need to know whether it needs to come before or after. Okay, now it gets more complicated. So this one will be LV, and we need to have another one called scale name, scale type, Do we need a scale type? Yeah, because that, based on that, we do certain things to it. So the scale type for the level was level dB, but it can go minus to plus. So we've got to use the level dB to convert to a scale value, stop and bottom. So yeah, it's a weird one. So do we need to know? We need to know whether that goes before or after. So we'll have to do another one called scale name position. Public bool scale name before or after, preceding, trailing, leading or trailing, start or end, scale name position. Tell you what, we won't have that, we'll have an int scale name position equals, okay, so we have a default one, we haven't got a struct for positions, so we'll have to create one. Let's create one, public struct function menu again, menu scale name positions. Yeah, all it is so we've got position, so to left, to right. Okay, so that's a bit of a weird one, but we've got to tell it what's going on, so we'll make it come default to being to the right. Okay, so we got to the right. Let's get down to here, so scale name position equals to the right, and it wants a comma. Okay, so that's the position to the right. Level needs to be to the left. Right, marker on off. Don't think that's got one, so that's why. Right, okay, we need to go back up here. Right, so we need to change the numbering. Oh, it's good, we started with the wrong number anyway. So scale name position none. So 1 and 2, there we go. So we can choose, we don't want it. To the right, to the left, and so it just needs to say, hang on, does it say? Let's have a look on my FT891S, so marker, it just says markers on, markers off. So you can switch it on to off, basically. Okay, so that's a weird one. We'll just have it on none. This is the complexity of dealing with. I don't know how Yasu got this all into a microcontroller, unless it's got an embedded Linux in there or something. I bet it's got an embedded Linux because it's doing, but it boots up quick. It's doing HDMI, so it's DVI, isn't it? It's doing. That could be done off a chip, couldn't it? So it might not be an embedded operating system. Right, so colour goes from 1 to 11. So you could have the name colour 1, yeah, so that wants to go to the left. To the left. Markers on off. Don't know. Anyway, that's as far as we've gone with that. So get down to the function now. Set the function. Now we need to find out from F. Right, we need to do an if statement. Yeah, we need to make a string up. So the value can stay the same, but we need to do a little bit of a thing here. So string equals, yeah, we need to do a switch statement. Or a switch or an if statement. I like a switch statement myself, but right, hang on then, let's just do a switch statement. Switch, so we're switching on F dot scale type, scale name, what was the other one? Scale name position. Yeah. Switch scale name position. Okay. Case. Function. Menu scale name positions. Dot. Resources. What's going on? What's the new one called? Function menu scale name positions. Right, okay. Yeah, this is gets complicated for sure. Dot. So we want, if we're going to do none first, start with the lowest number, break, and we want all the other two options. So we want to the left, to the right. You can have a default if you so wish. So let's just get rid of that a minute. So, depending on the scale position, we need a string to start at the top. String text. Right, so we need a string builder here. We need to say right, function block, text block. Function value text block, text equals a string empty, and we're going to make this one, so we need to sandwich or do nothing with it. So if it's left, we need to go function value text block text plus equals, and then we need to go f dot scale name. Put the scale name first, so whether we have a break in it. Scale name. Yeah, we could do that. Right. and then we want, if it's to the right, we want to put the name, the value in first, current value. Will it let me do that? Two string, will it do the two string for me? Might do. Oh, yeah, it should do. And then we want to do scale name after it. And if it's the left, we put that, and we want current value before the scale, no, after the scale name. Right, so we're adding the value. So then we want to add current text block text equals, take all that out of there. Current value to string, so we can just put that straight into there. That's it. Right, what's next? So that'll put the leading one before or after. Let's see what happens. So level will be dB, should say something dB, minus dB, plus dB. So if I go on here and go, say 1 dB, 2 dB, yeah, set 30 dB and minus dB, yeah, okay, whether you have a space or not is another story. And if I switch to peak and come out, and I've got to go level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, yeah, that's work, isn't it? And the marker, not sure, it's going to say 0 and 1. Oh, hang on, marker, and come out. It's doing nothing because we have not told it what to do. Now if we go to colour, colour 2, colour 4, colour set up to 11, back to colour 1. Okay, so that seems to work. Now marker, we need to make sure marker is working. So on off, we told it nothing. It's because we're doing nothing with the string here. So it's a string empty, so we need to say if we need a special occasion. Yeah, we need another one called on off. So we need to make a name position to the left, to the right, none. So if it's none, we need to look at then the, hang on, what do we need to look at? The scale type. If it's none, I need to say, right, we can look at the scale type. So scale types are level, marker, on, off. So we can come down here and we can go into this bit here, wherever it, oh, it's gone, we've gone past it. Where have we gone? Seem to have lost it. Here it is. Yeah, so if it's none, if it's set to none, it's not left or right, then we need to do marker on off. So we go if different things. So we want to tell you what we want to do. Switch marker function. No, what is it? R dot. No, not that. Sorry, it's not R. It's F dot. Where is it? Scale type. So if we do switch the scale type and then go case. Case function scale types dot, what did we say it was? Marker on off break. There we go. So if it's just happens to be a scale of on off, we need to create a string value text. We need to get the value. We need to switch or do an if r dot current value, not r, sorry, f dot current value is greater than 0, then string text block value is plus equals on. Or else it's off. If it's greater than 0, it's on. If it's 0, it's off. So we've got our case statement for a marker. So we set it to none, then we use the scale type. But so we don't need to make anything of the string. Yeah, that's fine. We just set it to on off. Okay, let's give it a go. So we're accounting for all kinds of scenarios here. Right, so we're okay with dBs, and we go peak, we go level 5 to level 2, then we go marker on off, on or off. There we go, that's it. Now you could scroll that as well when you're in the menu. At the minute you can't set it. It's not reading a value because this is just a placeholder. So we need to, if we've adjusted it to off, like on, it should say on. If it took it to off, it should say off. So the watts is working. So if we go on to watts, actually we haven't got an entry for watts, so it'll crash. We're on watts, so yeah, we crashed. Index will be out of bounds because we haven't got enough entries. We've got more stuff than we've got programmed in at the minute, so I need to go ahead and program a load more of these right the way up. So the first, what we've done so far is just them, so we need to go ahead and do all the rest. Not too bad. Yeah, and all we're doing is setting values at the minute. We're not using the values. Well, we started using, yeah, we did use the level, but the rest we aren't using yet. So if we do is put the scan on, put it on, what's that going to do? 30 dB? Is it got, okay, that's alright. So I need to do more work on that and scale it right and decide what we're going to do with that bit. So if you're bringing your noise level up, so we're getting there. Now that needs to disappear when it's finished and only appear when it's scanning. So at the end of the scan needs to hide it. Just turn the scan off. So, right. Okay, let's have a look at the thumbnail again. Right, so we've got the livery working somewhat. I need to go in and put some stuff more. Now we need to swap A and B VFOs. Right, so we need a bit of a tea break. So what we're going to do is we'll close that down a second, save what we got so far, and disengage that. Run up software directly, just an executable file. Let's have a scan. So that shouldn't currently showing level, but it hasn't loaded the level because it's showing it just the value without being loaded. It'll load it when I scroll. So I'm on 0 dB. So let's have a scan. So what I'll do now is let's have a scan around, see if we can find anything in station scope. See if there's anybody on. Right, couldn't find anyone. That looks like noise. It's too sunshiny for picking anyone up. Bad conditions. Let's try 40 meters. I'm gonna have to do some. Yeah, didn't find anything. I'm gonna have to do some noise filtering at some point. Right, 80 meters. It's just no good. No good for doing tests at the minute. There's just nothing on. Right, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll change band. See, the noise filters and digital noise reduction just got a blank area at the minute. We need to do something with that. So let's change to 21 and change to sideband. Let's have a scan. Change the level. Not finding anyone at the minute. Let's change the span. It's the lazy man's way of trying to find something. Right, let's change the span again. Just noise. Nothing on there. Let's try a different one. 18. So it's got its uses, hasn't it? I'm doing this with a mouse, so. Oop. Nothing on there. What about down here? I've got to choose the start and end bands for the band. I need to somehow get the RSGB band plan in the system. So I need to create a database. I've started doing database stuff, or bring in an XML file with the band plan in, so it knows where to start and finish, and the name of each frequency in the band plan, so it can display it, or you could question it or something. Right, so oops, we're back on this one again. Right, it looks like something there. Now what we can't do yet is click on here and take it to it, so we're going to have to wind it manually. Let's sort the RF gain out. So get the scroll wheel there or slide it. And you've got the same with the volume. Actually, we could do with that volume on there then, and that value for there somewhere here. Yeah, we could do that up there. That's what we need to do. Right, let's try and find some activity. What we need to do is be able to click here and put the frequency in as well. Because I'm pretty sure I can click, yeah, I can click these segments on the FT710. I can click the band and yeah, I can type in. So we need to make these into buttons as well, so we can type in. Right, so there's nothing there. So we click on that to mute the click again. So get rid of the noise, you see. So we're running out of bands here. 28. Let's have a look at that. This will find the center band and scan. So if I scan now, it's going to pick up CB frequency. And you might hear swearing and stuff. Yeah. It's USB, so we'll keep it on USB. Let's just see what happens. Here we go. Big load of noise. Right, so if you want to go, you center span, you want to go up higher, then just take it up somewhere. Hang on. Just scroll it on the screen. Just go fast on here. Do it this way. Let's take it up to 20. I'm on slow actually. Let's go fast. 20 something like that. That'll do. Right, so that will be the center frequency. So when you scan now, it goes minus and then plus, I think. Oh, span. Yeah, we've got a lot more span here. So you can alter the RF gain with that. Yeah, it's too noisy, isn't it? So can't stop the sweep. Oh, actually we need to put a stop. Yeah, we need to stop it there. Cancel it. Click it once to start, click it again to stop it. Right, let's go 20k. Right, let's find something else. 1.8. Is there anything on there? my aerial's not resonant at all on that band. What about this one? You know, it's totally dead today, isn't it? Heard something there. Alright, there's nothing much on. There's got to be someone on 18, surely. We didn't start enough, did we? Hang on. Let's take it up somewhere. I don't know. Let's take it up to somewhere like that. Something down there. Someone tuning. We've got to make the we've got to make that spin. At the minute that's only going 1 to every whatever we're doing, so that's supposed to go faster than that. So that's the graphics. Okay, we'll do a weird one then. We'll go on 28. Let's spin it down. Let's do a weird one. Might get some booze for this. Might get some booze for this. Right, where do we start? Let's start at 27. Alright, let's start at 27 on the dot. Here we go. Span is 100k. Let's try it. We need a what? Bigger span. Oh, it's gone up to 29. Oh, 26, sorry. Just nothing but noise. Can't stop it now. What is that? Right, so not quite going up enough. Span, say 50k. Somebody on side down there. Just happened to stop bang on there, look.
À quelques encablures de la ville de Toulon, sud-est de France. Michel, vous passez très très fort, plus loin, bien tassé. Hein. Et sur mon engin, hein, plus loin, c'est respectable.
Somebody 5-5, isn't it? They go on.
route 860, 860 pour Montpellier.
Anyway, I had some fun. We've had a bit of fun. Yeah, if the band's not good, they're not good. I can't do anything about it. Anyway, right, so we'll shut that down. So, actually, before I shut it down, there's one thing up. So when it boots up, when you start it, it needs to start up with your call sign and do a few checks. Like it does a check at the minute. Radio ID. It's not come up with a radio ID, has it? Why is that? Should have done. Or have I not asked for it? Oh, I know why, because I'm not in the radio ID mode. So it hasn't asked for it. It does when you're in a mode. You can't get to that mode because I've switched it out the system. So when it boots up, it needs to switch that mode, stay in it for a little while so you can read, and then it's switched to this one. So that'll be a nice feature to get that done. So anyway, I'm getting a bit warm now. We've been going for nearly 3 hours, so I want to be able to do a bit more on it later on, so we'll have a break. Maybe I'll do some more on it, maybe I'll do a live. Depends on what the frequencies are like. If they're pretty dead, then they're pretty dead. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. Tonight, 7-3. All. Thanks for joining in. So, I need to go and do something else, like peel some vegetables for my soup. Thanks for watching. All the new ones, we'll carry on with it. I fancy doing a bit later, so maybe 7 o'clock I'll come back on again for a bit. Alright, so we still haven't got to do the swapping and get that working. So we've done the livery somewhat. So what we'll do is we'll get the volume the same there with the volume level. And I fancy putting a label just here with the RF level just on there so you can see it. Yeah. Anyway, that is going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later on or in the morning. Bye for now.
Just find the right place in the program, make the appropriate change, and we'll run the whole thing again.
Speech is still very complicated. Music is simpler.
Is that a question?
Yes.
The question is futile.
My interpretation of the data leaves little room for error. The art of leadership is delegation.
That information is not available. This constitutes all available data.
You know what they say, no good deed goes unpunished.